Welcome along, guys, to this little test flight on Voyager 2698 from Mount Pleasant Air Force Base in the Falkland Islands to Rio Gallegos. A beautiful livery plane here, used for special events. I'm taking 120 of the officials from the Falkland Islands to Rio Gallegos for a meeting. And you're welcome to join us. So here we are on the ground. We're going to have a quick look at the aircraft. Beautiful that she is, an A330-900. We're on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and this is the Headwind A330, and it's come on really well. It's a free aircraft, and it integrates really well with the mini cockpit, the FIS, and also the WinWing MCDU, which I'm using. I also have a Honeycomb Bravo throttle quadrant and a Turtle Beach side stick, all of which seems to work quite well. And let's get into it. Let's get on board and get ready for the flight, and see what we get. It's not an awful lot of traffic around. I am on VATSIM. There is actually a flight on the return trip from Rio Gallegos to Mount Pleasant. There are no controllers, unfortunately, but we may see a little bit of traffic on the way. So join me, and let's see how this performs. Here we are in the cockpit. We're going to get the thing started up, get our passengers etc. on board, and we'll get on our way. First thing we'll do, we'll get the external power on, get everything fired up, and we'll have a look on our electronic flight pad. So that should be the flight plan loaded in, and we've got 120 passengers on board, or due on board. Let's see if GSX manages to actually load up the correct fuel and passengers. Let's see how GSX does. It's been a little bit temperamental recently, but we shall see. Let's see if it works. I only updated this yesterday, and it's saying it's outdated, but never mind. We'll give it a try anyway. Let's see how we do. So we'll request refueling, and we're going to be using Ryanair. Seems a little bit strange. Let's have Service Air, shall we? Whoever they are, I'm sure it'd be the RAF doing this. In real times. You can see there ahead of us, that's the fuel truck coming, so that's a good start. While the fuel's on its way, we shall get start to get things prepared in the cockpit.
Flight attendants, armed doors, and cross-check.
Sounded awfully American for an RAF flight. Whilst we're at it, I really should be getting everything else sorted for a VATSIM flight, really, because I actually haven't fired up VATSIM yet.
Fuel truck is in position. Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
Certainly. So I'm just going to put in call signs A F2698 Voyager, or an A339. Okay, connected to that sim. Not that's going to make much of a difference.
System to set the desired fuel quantity.
And I need to find out really which runway we're going to be taking, 10 or 28. So just give me a little bit of, so the wind's at 330 degrees. So it looks like a runway 10 departure. So I'm actually using the wind wing here, so you should see it on the screen there. If I can just remember how. Well, that's it. Let's get those lights on. Although it's daylight in the sim, it's not daylight here. I'm operating a bit in the dark. So, init request. That's good. Can't put those in until we're fully loaded. Let's have a look at the flight plan. EGYP departure. We're going to be using runway 10. I didn't think they actually had SIDs. We've got a SID 10. Okay, well let's go for that. And I think we'll call that. Let's have a initial climb out at 6,000. Weather-wise, we have 1016 on the QNH. Other things we can be doing. Let's have a look down here. Wind shear. That and that. TCAS. I don't have a squawk code, so we'll continue to squawk 7000. We'll have all of those. We'll stick that on auto. I'll get the ground spoilers armed. Let's have a look here. So we should have 13200. $13,200 on board, indeed. So now we've got that, we really need to get the passengers loaded on board. Request boarding.
Requested.
Thank you. rather patriotic looking livery. It is, I think it's a fictional livery, but I do like it. Flying the flag for Britain out of the Falkland Islands. I'm not sure if these doors are going to open automatically or I'm going to have to open them myself. Oh, opening automatically in the middle. Not sure.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Oh, thank you so much.
Passenger's bus is coming.
Ford cargo. Which is, I think, that one. I think forward door is going to be on the right. It is. The door on that one, until might fall out.
Bypass pin inserted.
Never mind. So we have the middle and the rear doors open, but not the forward door. Oh.
Passengers boarding starting.
They've got stairs there, but nobody getting on. Maybe there's nobody in first class today. So let's see how we go. We're expecting 120 passengers. Let's see if we've got anybody coming up the stairs. Oh, here they come. Bloody hell, it's like a zombie apocalypse. Can't see anybody in uniform. I wonder if these guys are going to get in the front door. Maybe they're just going to break in. Oh! They just morphed through. Never mind. Slightly breaks the immersion, but let's just focus on this middle door. We can see the guys going into premium economy. And the guys at the back, they're jumping. Whee! They're going into the economy class at the back. If anybody's actually flown on the air bridge out of the Falkland Islands, they do actually use the A330, at least from Jet 2. It's rather basic. Well, they've got a couple of them, but they are very basic. There's a little bit more room up in the front there, but the rest are it really is cattle class. But hey, needs must.
Passengers bus is coming.
Pardon me. So while that's going on, I'm just going to check the old VATSIM radar, see what's going on. Yeah, there's a plane on its way. From Rio Gallegos.
Passengers boarding starting.
Okay, just a quick double check up here. Let's get the strobes on. We'll get the seatbelt signs on. Filling up quite nicely. 90 passengers on board already. I'll just double check. Cargo is on. Well, obviously they're travelling light today. But let's get the APU on. I'll get the fuel pumps on. Nice bit of incidental music coming from the cabin. Don't remember that last time I travelled. Yeah, all looks okay to me. We're on.
Boarding completed.
Thank you. 122.8, which is good. Boarding is completed. And okay, so let's have a look at some figures here, shall we? Because I think I'm going to have to possibly put those in myself.
On the flight deck. On behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer, and cabin crew, I'd like to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to see final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full...
So I think we'll go for flaps 1.
...operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more
Flex of
enjoyable,
54.
ask. Welcome aboard.
Now, the problem is the V-speed calculator gives us some weird numbers, so I'm going to have to kind of make these up. So we're going to go for 139, 139, 149. See if it likes that. Yeah, it seems to be okay. We've got a flight plan discontinuity. That's over. Get rid of that discontinuity. I'm saying that right. Discontinuity. So I don't actually need a pushback. Boarding is completed. So I don't actually need anything there. Oh, sorry, let's just get the APU bleed on. And then we can have a look at the ground services. Don't need the GPU anymore. We can close that door, we can close that door. Now, weirdly, if we just have a quick look outside, the stairways are still there, and they're not going to go unless I actually push back, so I might have to do some weird GSX-y kind of stuff here. Let's go nose right, tail left.
Release parking brakes, please.
See what it does for us.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay, start at will. Just altering some of my visuals here whilst we're doing this, just so I can see. Alright, so ignition on, engine 2 on. Right, we've done that. We've done that. We've got the seat belts on, they're aligned, we've got the barometric reference done. Parking brakes off, takeoff speeds and thrust, windows closed, beacon is on. We don't need anti-ice. That's okay. Pitch trim, we've gone for one of those. Okay.
Please set parking brakes. Unlocking gear.
Okay, that's a flight controls done. Flaps are set at 1. Radar and predicted wind speed is on. Engine mode will be flex. Ecam mem. No blue. Cabin. Oops. That should be taxi.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Let's get
Left is clear. Right is clear.
engine 1 on. Just have a quick look at the plan and make sure we've got all that. What's something weird going on there? It's going to take us some kind of convoluted route by the looks of things. Take it off. Now we're going to well, I don't know about you. I can't work out where that is taking us.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Mount Pleasant. Oh no, that looks okay. It's just me being a bit, it being a little bit weird, a little bit of latency on that. So, just going to have a check on the old VAT sim. Oh, he's just coming over West Falkland. So by the time I taxi out, he might be actually very close to his final approach. So last quick check. Let's have a check around. All that's okay. We can get rid of the APU bleed. We can turn the ignition off. Double check is okay. Weather radar is on. Terrain can be on. Oops, a daisy. So auto brake max. Takeoff configuration test is normal. That's looking good. Right, what did I do with the lights? I forgot. Okay, we're on taxi. Strobe is on auto. Beacon is on. Nav and logo. I'll get that on as well. And we'll have a slow trundle out to runway 10. So as I said earlier, this is the Headwind A330-900. It's not quite study level, but you know, for a free aircraft, there's some really good liveries. It's a great aircraft to fly, and the systems are modelled really well. I know there's a lot of complaints. You know, it's not exactly 100% right, but you know, it's better than a lot of payware out there. I'm just going to hold short here. Yeah, it performs really well, guys. I think it's a great aircraft. I would thoroughly recommend it. If you're into Airbus, you know, I've got the Phoenix A319, 320, 321, which I fly a lot. It's a little bit more resource hungry than the Headwind. But that is, I suppose, classified as a study level aircraft. But I get as much fun. I get as much fun flying this thing, in all honesty. Okay, so how far away is our Pablo Hernan Castro Blanco? And he's 737-800. He is due in Mount Pleasant in 10 minutes. We haven't really got time to be hanging around, so I think we'll get on our way. Stanley traffic. This is Voyager 2698 at Mount Pleasant Air Force Base, just about to line up runway 10 for departure. Well, I've announced it on Unicom. So we should be departing, heading out towards Stanley, and then doing a right turn and heading over to the mainland. Looking at that windsock, the wind is not actually doing what the forecast said. I maybe should have been taking off the other direction. We've got a bit of a crosswind, bit of a cross tailwind, I think. Quite often in these conditions, they actually don't fly. So if there's a strong crosswind from the west. Okay, we are ready to go. We shall wind us up to flex and let's see if we can get this thing in the air. Gear up. Autopilot on. And let's reduce our flaps to 0. We should be coming back to climb detent in a second. Thrust to climb. MPA traffic, this is Voyager 26 and 908 cleared of runway 10. Climbing nicely. Get rid of the ground spoilers. We're not actually going to see Stanley from here. Let's get that checklist up to date, shall we? Take off runway. CCAS. Packs 1 and 2, they were on. Barrel reference, we did that. Seatbelts, we did that. Auto brake, engine mode, select. In fact, I don't know why I'm doing that. That's for the approach. Let's take those out. Getting a little bit ahead of myself there. And go to standard pressure. So just looking out at the left hand side there, over towards Stanley. We'll make a sharp right turn soon. So we're at 6,000. Cruising altitude, I think is actually 40,000. We've got no restrictions. So let's crank her up. pulling into our turn now. And let's just have a look outside, shall we? Isn't she beautiful? Flying the flag. Beautiful departure from the Falkland Islands, climbing up to 40,000 feet. It's quite quiet up here. It's not very much turbulence. I think we can possibly release our VIP guests in the back. Get the old seatbelts off. This is one of the annoying things, is the click spots on here. Yeah. Okay, release the VIPs in the back, thank you. That's it, climbing through 12,000, so we can get the. Oh God, I didn't put the lights on. Never mind, there was nobody here to see us. Well, guys, sit back, enjoy the flight, watch the in-flight movie. I actually don't think they have them on this plane, but they might on this one because this is a VIP charter. I believe there's a good Jason Statham film out, which is exactly the same as all the other Jason Statham films, so there's nothing going to be a surprise. I'm just checking my frame counter there. It's sitting quite nicely, 60 frames per second. It drops off a hell of a lot in busy areas, but you know, for Microsoft 2024, I'm pretty pleased with that. Everything's on kind of medium, high and ultra settings to try and get the best performance. But the Headwind is not too hungry. It does perform pretty well. And together with a little bit of Moby flight, my mini cockpit works well with it. Anyway, whilst we're climbing up to our cruising altitude, I'm just going to have a quick scan around the instruments, and I think we'll take a break just now, and you can come back as we get closer to mainland, or indeed if anything else happens on this flight. It's all very quiet. VATSIM is absolutely silent. There's no controllers in range, so apologies for that, but we are in the middle of the South Atlantic and nothing very much is happening here. So anyway, come back and join me shortly, and we'll see you soon. Okay, welcome back after that very short break. Just coming through 36,000 feet, approaching our final cruising altitude of 40,000 feet. it's quite a short flight, so I think we probably need to look at maybe getting some details in for our destination. 38,000 feet, almost top of climb. Top of descent is just, if you have a look, top of descent 230, 240 miles. I always think the top of descent's a bit optimistic on these. The rate of descent has to be quite sharp. I do like to start my descent a little bit earlier just to make it a smoother arrival. Whilst you were gone, I was also checking on the old VATSIM radar. There was a second flight had left Rio Gallegos for Stanley, but unfortunately he's disconnected. Same airline, same virtual airline as the guy who landed just after my departure. Sur Air, SUR. Flying two different aircraft. Yeah, they were both obviously doing the same flight, but one of them's disconnected, unfortunately. Still no ATC on. Not an awful lot of other aircraft in the area. There is some more aircraft up towards the northern end of Argentina and Uruguay, but nothing where we are, unfortunately. So it might be quite quiet as far as ATC and other traffic's concerned on VATSIM, but never mind. We can still enjoy our little flight. So we've got our destination details in. That's all programmed, ready for our arrival. There's my co-pilot. He's looking rather relaxed, cool with his shades on. Not sure what he's done with his hair. It looks like some kind of weird Gary Newman thing going on. For those who are old enough to remember Gary Newman, who is a pilot, by the way, has a collection of Warbirds aircraft. Did meet him once at Duxford. I didn't say anything to him because I was too shy and embarrassed, but never mind. It was still Gary Newman in his Warbird. Our friends Electric. Or cars. Beautiful weather out there. A bit of cloud below us, but nothing up here. .40,000 feet up. I'm sure you can see the curvature of the Earth for those flat earthers out there.
Just reach your cruise altitude for the flight and begin to settle in. I do want to remind you to please keep your seatbelt square from the down as a flight attendant will be coming into the cabin and the galley run shortly.
He's saying that without moving his lips. Never mind.
Thank you.
Anyway, thanks for checking in, guys. Let's have another little break, shall we? Because there's not an awful lot happening up here. And we'll catch up at the top of descent. Where are we going? No, I think it was just the autopilot adjusting our course. Anyway, join me back shortly for our top of descent, which might be a little bit earlier than published, but yeah, join me then, guys. Thanks. Well, you join me back. We are about 40 nautical miles from our next waypoint, which is where we actually turn north and head towards Rio Gallegos. Shortly after that, I'll be top of descent. It's actually 50 miles beyond our next waypoint, but I will probably start making descent a little bit earlier, just so it's nice and smooth for our VIPs. We want them to arrive nice and refreshed and not frazzled from a Stuka-like descent towards Rio Gallegos. As you can see, it's a beautiful day still, flying the flag for the United Kingdom, Great Britain, with our VIP trip to Argentina. It's been smooth running so far, no issues, no traffic, no controllers. Jason Statham film's gone down well. Welcome back to the cockpit. Gary Newman still looking cool in his shades, having a quick look around. He hasn't moved, hasn't brought me a coffee or anything. No idea what's going on in the back, it's all quiet back there. But welcome back to the flight deck. And so you can see our next waypoint, 29 miles now to GRA, and then a further 50 miles to our top of descent. We'll probably start that about 30 miles from top of descent, like I say, just to make it nice and smooth. You can see the coast of Argentina just through the window there. Lovely day. Nice day to be flying the flag. Not wanting to get into any politics, of course. So we'll just go back to the external view, have a look at this beautiful aircraft and these beautiful conditions, and once we reach top of descent, join me again. Okay, here we are. We've just started our descent, dropping down to 9,000 for our approach. We've actually had to change our approach runway to runway 7, just because of the weather, rather than runway 25. I still think that we may have actually started our descent a little bit late again, but let's get everybody ready. Get passengers strapped in. Still no VATSIM controllers. So we're descending quite rapidly to try and get down to the required altitude for our arrival. We still got 108 miles, 107 miles to our destination. Well, like I say, we've changed our approach, we've changed our runway to suit the conditions. there is an aircraft just leaving Rio Gallegos, heading for the Falkland Islands. He obviously reconnected. There's Argentina. Stay cool, man. Stay cool. So descending through 27,000 down to 9, and then a further reduction. I'll just check. We're going to be going down to 3,000. And our final approach at 2,200. Not really sure if I'm pronouncing Rio Gallegos right, it's just the way it's spelt. With it being Spanish, it's probably Rio Gallegos. Who knows? I don't speak Spanish. And being British, we pronounce things how they are spelt normally, when it's a foreign language anyway. So apologies to anybody who finds my pronunciation not so good. So 90 miles to go, still descending quite nicely. So I do have some speed constraints and height constraints to deal with as we get in a bit closer. So I want to be down to 3,000 feet, 220 knots as we start to make our final turns to the approach. Isn't that just beautiful? Just checking the charts. I think everything is looking good. I think we'll start getting stuff like auto brakes set, ground spoilers set. So it'll be full flaps, medium auto brake. And there's plenty of points for us to turn off. We'll probably be looking at turn off Charlie, Bravo if we can get down early enough, but we can go all the way down to the end Delta to exit the runway if I don't nail this landing, and it's highly likely that I'm not going to. I managed to float halfway down the last time without being able to get the thing on the ground. So I'm just going to double check we've got everything in here correctly. So the wind is now 080. That's 6 knots, which is why that's changed. Temperature's down to 20 degrees, down to, if only, eh? And 10:09 for the QNH. Speed limit, bloody hell, man. And what we're looking at here, okay, that's all in. Let's have a further descent. Let's come down to 4,000. And we'll get our old landing lights on. QNH 1010. Oh, 10.9. 10.9. Okay. This is what Guy Newman's been looking at. Just slip back over to my own seat. Thanks, Gary. Sat in your knee there. Okay, so let's start thinking about maybe getting a speed reduction down to 220. Coming in nicely now. Everything's looking fine. Quick check on the radar. There's another plane in there. He's off to Mount Pleasant. There's a few planes going to Mount Pleasant today. Very strange. Okay, 53 miles to run. Let's bring it down to 3,000. Rio Gallegos traffic, this is Voyager 2698, inbound runway 7, 50 miles to run. Okay, all looks okay to me. Ground spoilers armed, no flaps as yet.
2,500.
Flaps 1.
2,500.
Thank you. This is going to be quite a sharp old turn.
2,500.
The airport's over there somewhere. Okay, not long. I think about 27 miles before we make our turn for the runway 7. So we want to be at 2200 at 9 miles. And then down to 1100. At 3.5 miles. Now, once we make our turn, we'll get down to the correct altitude. In fact, we need to get down to our correct altitude very shortly. So it's 3,000 at our next waypoint, and then down to 2200. think we'll also be reducing speed. Well, we definitely will be because we've got to land, but I think we'll be reducing speed before we get established. So I've just dropped the range down to 10 miles. Just gives us a better picture. Alright, barrel reference is set, seatbelts are done, minimums is on, auto brakes done. Buckle up, buttercup. Okay, let's get some speed off. That's down to 180. Speed reducing nicely. Flaps 2. Flaps 3. Well, he doesn't look concerned. He doesn't have to land it. Alright, quite final look outside. Show this beautiful approach. Beautiful scenery. In a kind of flat, empty, expansive kind of way, if you know what I mean. Anyway, flying the flag into Argentina. Let's build some relations. Okay, here we are making our turn. Bring us up towards our next waypoint. Height reduction, let's come down to 2200. Should be picking up the airport very soon. Should be just off to our right there. 133. Just checking our landing speed. 133. Take the speed down to 160. Full flaps. Gear down.
Flight attendants, please prepare for that.
Height reduction 1100. Rio Gallegos, this is Voyager 2698, final approach for runway 7. Here we go. That looks like the runway ahead. Be going manual very shortly. I seem to be a little bit off here.
1000.
Okay. Let's see if we can bring this baby in.
1000.
Oof. Voyager 2698 short finals.
$500. 400. 100 above.
A bit long. Well, it's coming down.
Minimum.
Thank you.
100. 80. 70. 60. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 5.
Well, that wasn't too shabby.
Auto brake off.
No reverse thrusters required. Welcome to Rio Gallegos. Voyager 2698, clear of the runway. Alright, let's get that on. A bit of taxi lightage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Let's see what this guy's doing. We'll give him a bit of space. I think he's still pushing back. Pardon me. Five 5593. I'll hold position. Wait for your taxi. That's if he's going to taxi. He seems to have just disappeared again. Okay, let's continue our taxi then. Let's find a gate. Get these ladies and gentlemen on their way. Who's left that truck there? We can't go in there, that's where he was, and just in case he arrives back again, let's swing it around in here. Hope he doesn't pop back up. Oh, you bloody hell's teeth. Nearly pooped. Now, I'm actually not sure if I'm in a gate here. Oh, it's close enough, isn't it? Close enough, guys, close enough. Let's get some ground services on. Okay, you can use your phones. Thank you, ladies in the back. And let's also get the engines off. Get the lights off. I better take the strobe off. All good. Let's request deboarding.
Requested.
Well, he's parked right in me. That doesn't look very good. Anyway, thanks for joining me for the ride. Some minor little glitches, as you can see, but all in all, not a bad flight. Thanks for joining me, and hopefully see you again.